ZABoxingNation, where boxing lives, breathes, and breaks down. We have a massive lineup today. Fabio Wardley just flipped the heavyweight division upside down with a shocking TKO victory over Joseph Parker. Devin "The Dream" Haney's next challenge is against one of the most dangerous young punchers in the game, Brian Norman Jr. David Benavidez continues his light heavyweight takeover against Anthony Yarde. Abdullah Mason steps into another test against Sam Noakes. Plus, we'll close this with your favorite segment, On This Day in Boxing History. Let's break this all down. Now, let's move from heavyweight chaos to lightweight chess. Devin "The Dream" Haney is one of the most polarizing names in boxing. Fans either call him boring or brilliant. But the truth is, he's one of the most technically gifted fighters of this generation. He's precise, disciplined, and rarely makes mistakes. His upcoming fight against Brian Norman Jr. might be one of the most dangerous of his career. Brian Norman Jr. sitting at 28 wins, 0 losses, 22 big wins coming by way of knockout. In his last fight, he stopped Jin Sasaki. But I believe Brian Norman Jr. isn't coming to box, he's coming to brawl. He's a physical, explosive fighter who likes to turn tactical matchups into dogfights. Stylistically, this is a nightmare for both men. Devin "The Dream" Haney thrives on control, jab, range, rhythm, distance. Brian Norman Jr. thrives on chaos. He wants to make you fight on his terms, inside the pocket. Here's where it gets interesting. Brian Norman Jr.'s unpredictability could trouble Devin "The Dream" Haney early. Haney's defense is elite, but when he's pressured aggressively, we've seen moments of vulnerability, like when he fought Linares, or even Lomachenko, or we could even say Ryan Garcia. Although he was on Osterring and that fight was overturned to a no contest. Brian Norman Jr.'s plan will be to drag Devin "The Dream" Haney into exchanges and test that chin. Devin "The Dream" Haney, on the other hand, will look to neutralize that aggression. Expect Devin "The Dream" Haney to jab the body early, pivot out, and tie Brian Norman Jr. up whenever he gets too close. Over time, Brian Norman Jr. power fades. That's when Devin "The Dream" Haney starts picking him apart. This is the perfect fight for Devin "The Dream" Haney to prove he's more than just slick, that he can dominate a pressure fighter and make it look easy. My prediction, I'm going to go ahead and say I have Devin "The Dream" Haney by unanimous decision, but expect Brian Norman Jr. to have moments early. But Devin "The Dream" Haney's ring IQ and conditioning will shine in the second half of the fight. If Devin "The Dream" Haney wins, it's time to start talking about his legacy. 36-0, multiple divisions conquered, and still undefeated. That's greatness in real time. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Devin "The Dream" Haney versus Brian Norman Jr. in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia in November. Now we head to one of the most explosive matchups this year. David Benavidez versus Anthony "The Beast from the East" Yarde. David Benavidez is known as the Ecuadorian monster, has terrorized everyone from 168 to 175 pounds. He's fast, ferocious, and relentless. What makes him dangerous isn't just his power, it's his stamina. He throws 80 to 100 punches around like it's nothing. Anthony Yarde, on the other hand, is a powerhouse with genuine knockout potential in both hands. His combination of speed and muscle makes him one of the most physically imposing fighters in the light heavyweight division. This fight is pure violence, both men promising to come forward. David Benavidez will walk Anthony Yarde down, inch by inch. But Anthony Yarde's timing and counterpunching ability could give him a shot early. Remember, Anthony Yarde stunned Arthur Benavidez before he lost. He's no stranger to the elite level pressure. But here's where it tilts. Anthony Yarde tends to fade after round 7. David Benavidez, meanwhile, gets stronger as the rounds progress. That volume, that pressure, it breaks opponents down mentally. Expect a war of attrition. Anthony Yarde will have his moments in the first half of the fight, landing big counterpunches, but once David Benavidez gets into that rhythm, that machine gun combination rhythm, it becomes a nightmare for Anthony Yarde. Round by round, Anthony Yarde will slow, and David Benavidez will start painting him with shots from every angle. I see a stoppage coming late. My prediction, David Benavidez by TKO in round 9. Too much pressure, too much output, too much will. This win could set up eventual super fights against guys like Arthur Beterbiev or Dimitri Bivol. Either way, David Benavidez is proving he's a generational force at the light heavyweight division. Let me know what you guys think about this fight in the comments below. David Benavidez versus Anthony Yarde in November. David Benavidez versus Anthony Yarde in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia in November. This one right here, the future of boxing. Abdullah Mason versus Sam Noakes is everything the sport needs. Everything the sport needs. Two young, hungry, undefeated prospects risking their records early. Abdullah Mason has been special since day one. At just 20 years old, he fights with the maturity of a veteran. His footwork, timing, and shot selection are beyond his years. He's patient, and he doesn't waste punches, doesn't overreact, and always set traps before committing. Sam Noakes, meanwhile, is all grit and determination. He's your classic pressure fighter, non-stop motion, body hooks, and inside warfare. Sam Noakes likes to drown his opponents under volume and heart. This fight will come down to one thing: composure. If Abdullah Mason can keep his distance, use his jab, and turn Sam Noakes every time he charges in, it'll be a showcase of elite boxing IQ. But if Sam Noakes drags him into a brawl and forces exchanges on the ropes, Abdullah Mason will have to prove that he can handle the heat. We've already heard that Sam Noakes is one of the biggest punchers in this division, specifically from a guy like Shakur Stevenson, and he's one of the most elite guys. What's exciting here is how evenly matched their power is. Both can crack, both can finish. The difference is in precision. Abdullah Mason's shots come from clean setups. Sam Noakes from pure aggression. Expect a fast-paced tactical war, the kind of fight that turns contenders into stars. My prediction, Abdullah Mason by TKO in round 6. His patience, his counter-punching ability, and composure will separate him. But don't count Sam Noakes out. He's got that British heart that can make any fight dramatic. This one could easily be Fight of the Year contender if it lives up to its potential. Let me know how you guys feel about this fight in the comments below. Abdullah Mason versus Sam Noakes in November in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And now for your favorite segment, On This Day in Boxing History. On November 1st, 1898, a 19-year-old Jack Johnson stepped into the ring for his professional debut in Galveston, Texas. He would go on to become the first African-American world heavyweight champion. But what he represented was far bigger than a title. Jack Johnson fought in an era when just his existence in the sport was a rebellion. He fought not only opponents, but a system that wanted him silenced. And he didn't just win, he dominated with skill and intellect. He introduced defensive mastery long before Floyd Money Mayweather. He leaned back from punches, slipped shots effortlessly, and countered with surgical precision. Jack Johnson made boxing an art form. Every time we see a fighter shoulder roll, pivot, or fight relaxed with confidence, that's Jack Johnson's DNA living on. So as we celebrate modern champions, we never forget the man who kicked doors open so everyone else could walk through. So there you have it. Fabio Wardley shakes up the heavyweight division. Devin the Dream Haney stays icy against danger with Brian Norman Jr. David Benavidez versus Anthony Yarde promises chaos. Abdullah Mason versus Sam Noakes are this sport's future. And Jack Johnson, the man who started it all. This is why we love this game. Every era, every story, every fight, it all connects. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you never miss out on an update. But this is ZABoxingNation, where champions get analyzed and legends are made. And if you're new here, keep your hands up, and I'll catch you in the next one.